I actually have a non-Raptors related question. I'm just wondering if you saw Jamal Murray's game last night, and uh, maybe a happy question, like what you thought of it and how it struck you.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen this, I've seen just about all of his games here, and I've seen quite a bit of him as well. He's really on one, man. He's really on a huge tear, and um, I don't know. I more than the scoring and everything. I just love the competitiveness, Michael. I think from watching him play, man, he's really trying to do everything he can to help his team win. And he just so happens to be on a scoring barrage of unlike I don't see too many like this. So pretty cool to watch, that's for sure. Heck of a player, man. Heck of a competitor.
And just to follow up, I mean, in a perfect world, you'd have your second NBA ring, and you'd probably have a medal from Tokyo. If things hadn't been interrupted, but have you allowed yourself to think of what might have been this summer and what a guy like Jamal could or will mean when the opportunity arises?
Well, what I think about, Michael, is this: I pray every day that there'll be a Tokyo someday. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think for everybody around the world, that means that things are moving again, and it's hard to dream about being on the medal podium. It's hard to be about when you don't even know if you're gonna ever go, right? That's what I'm saying. Let's all keep trying to pray or positive thoughts that those games will take place at some point.
I hear you. I appreciate it, Nick. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Michael.
Next is Doug Smith from the Toronto Star.
Good morning, Nick. How you doing?
I'm fantastic, Doug. How are you?
I'm glad to hear it. I don't think fantastic's quite good, but that's all right. When you're looking back at the film of yesterday, you need to change what you do or do what you do better?
Well, I think there's got to be some adjustments, obviously, Doug, and some things we didn't do very well for whatever reason. But we didn't bring it, Doug. We didn't bring it, man. We weren't running hard. It's like we were playing uphill both directions, right? We weren't running hard back. We weren't running hard forward. We weren't cutting hard. We weren't. There was a speed and energy problem that I think was a physical problem, which I think was created by our mental state, which wasn't right. So then you got to get over all that before you start looking at the adjustments and things like that, right? I think as you know, we've talked about this 100 times, me and you, about you got a coverage or you got a matchup out there, and you think, well, it isn't working. Is it not working because we're not doing it well enough or hard enough or with enough pace, speed, connectivity, trust, communication, anticipation, toughness, or do you need to completely junk it and get out to another coverage, right? So there's kind of lots going on there. And I think to answer your question, there's some of both.
Great. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it.
Next, we'll go to Stephen from Sportsnet.
Hey, Coach. Thanks for doing this. Just upon further review, what did you think of that kind of big jumble lineup that you went with last night? What benefits did you see out of it?
I mean, it was okay, Stephen. Obviously, they had a nice run kind of when the game was, everything was going wrong and the game was getting away from us early, and we went to it, and it brought us back with a chance, and without a couple really critical mistakes to end the quarter, we probably go into the half down 8 or 10. I think it was 10, and we had the ball, and we actually had a really nice position with the ball and ended up turning it over for a layup and then giving up a 3 at the buzzer and ended up going down 17. So that group had actually played pretty well together to get us back in the game. So that's a positive. Yeah, that's all I can say. Their plus minus was pretty good, so they were doing okay at both ends, I guess.
And just one more for me, but like I know you were asked about this last night about like Pascal's kind of post touches, but given a night to kind of look it over, what did you see there? Like were those the touches that you wanted him to get, like because he's close to the basket in the paint for more high percentage looks?
Well, I think Stephen, they look pretty good to me for the most part. I thought Smart pulled him into an offensive foul that was a bad call, right? So that was one that wasn't very good. He got clearance at about 2 feet on one that he missed the layup. He got 2 and ones, so those were pretty good, and he got another bucket over Smart. So for the most part, they looked okay, and I think that we're trying to get him going a little bit. So we were trying to get him some touches, and that wasn't a bad way to do it. I think we need to do a little bit more around it a little bit. I think we need to cut a little bit more and have a little better spacing and relocation and things like that. Possibly if we go into him there, yeah. I don't know. What'd you think of him? What'd you think of those post touches? You like too many?
I mean, it looked like a lot. It looked like a lot. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Next, we'll go to Mike Ganter from the Toronto Sun.
Hey, Nick. Pretty general question from me. Just wondering about, the mood in today's practice after yesterday and whether it was pretty easy to get their attention the day after.
Yeah, I think so, Mike. I think so. I mean, the mood's not good, right? We're not happy, and we're a little pissed off, and we should be. I mean, we're not proud of anything we did yesterday.
Yeah.
So the only you got to kind of live through that, right? You got to kind of live through that until you get another chance for the ball to go up and try to right it. And you can say, hey, we'll play better, it'll be okay. Well, we'll see. We gotta make it better. We gotta make it okay. Yeah.
Thanks, Nick.
We'll go to Josh from TSN next.
Hey, Nick. Fred was just telling us that he gets to see his family today. I guess a bunch of the players are going to get to see their family today or soon. Seems like a pretty good time for that, given what's going on, what went on the court yesterday, what's going on off the court. How much do you think that will sort of help boost guys' spirits?
I mean, I hope it. I'm happy for him, Josh, and I hope it does. Me predicting what's going to happen is a little bit shaky these days. You know what I mean? Like how one event leads to the next. If anybody's predicting that in the present times, then they make a lot of money. So I don't know. I'm glad. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of love and joy for these guys for the rest of their day today and part of tomorrow, which they certainly need. And hopefully that'll translate to the court. And if it doesn't, I don't know if it matters or not, Josh. It's kind of, we got to go play. We got to play better and play a lot harder.
Neither team had many transition opportunities yesterday. Obviously, that's a big part of your game, getting out and running. How can you guys control the pace a little bit better against a team that does such a good job of getting back?
Well, I mean, I think, Josh, you got to kind of understand that playoff basketball changes a little bit. They're just, for whatever reason, I mean, other than the fact that people run back better in the playoffs and with a little bit more urgency or whatever, that it does cut down. Transition points do cut down in the playoffs. That being said, I think again, what do? We've already talked about this a couple times. You push it a little harder, you run a little harder to the corners, you throw it ahead a little bit more, but mostly it's about running hard with some speed. And once you get a stop or a turnover, man, you got to try to change gears and you got to try to put the heat on them. And you can only do that usually in numbers. You need some depth and some width both to your transition offense.
Thanks, Nick.
Welcome, Josh.
Thanks, Josh. Next, we'll go to Greg Ross from CBC. Greg, are you there? Okay, we'll go to Chris Mannix, who should be live there with you.
Nick, we're obviously in an era of kind of positionless basketball. When you see guys like Tatum and Brown, two kind of floor spacer, wingy kind of guys playing together in the front court, what kind of challenges do they pose as front court mates there?
Well, I think the biggest thing is they can do a little bit of everything, right? And they can guard a little bit of everything as well. So they can shoot it, they can drive it, they can post you if they get the right matchups. And I think that's a lot of the best players in the league are kind of in that big wing athletic position that can do about every skill.
Have you seen improvements defensively from either of them this year as you watch?
Yeah. I mean, I think they're two-way players, man. Both of them. I think they work at it. I think they I see them down guard and they got some length. They certainly got good feet, and they compete. I think that those are the main things. You got the athleticism and the want to do it. I think they both do.
We'll go back to Greg Ross.
Okay, can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yep. All good.
Okay. Hey, Nick, a little earlier on you said that the mood of practice today was guys were just pissed off. I mean, is that what you want to see as a coach? And is that, the thing that makes this team special, the fact that they're so businesslike when it comes to what they do on the court?
Well, I'm not sure it's what I want to see, right? I'd much rather be holding hands and skipping rope after a win, you know what I mean? But again, this is where we find ourselves, and well, maybe I was the one that was pissed off, Greg. I don't know. Maybe I was reading it wrong, but let's see. I mean, again, we're gonna find out. Our mood today isn't going to affect tomorrow much. It's when the ball goes up tomorrow what we're going to be like. We usually do bounce back though, right? We're a team that's bounced back a lot. So hopefully our historical reference will matter tomorrow.
Well, real quick follow-up. You talk about a team that can bounce back, and even in the playoffs last year against Milwaukee, I mean, down 2-0 and to come back. I mean, last night was a tough, or yesterday was a tough performance for this team on the court. Is it important, I guess, for the mental fortitude for this team to be able to show that they can bounce back against a tough team like Boston in a tough series?
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of in a situation now. The stakes are high, Greg, right? Where if you don't bounce back, you're gonna be in trouble, right? Got to figure it out. It is a first team to 4 wins, and there's a ways to go in this series, but we got to play better, man, against these guys, and we got to get in a better mindset, both physically and mentally. We really do.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Final question today. We'll go to Tim Reynolds from the Associated Press.
And that kind of along the lines of what you were just asked. I mean, I know in a perfect world, I got muted again. I know in a perfect world, you said that you'd be holding hands and skipping rope today, which I don't believe you guys have ever done in a practice. I think you're lying to us. But in a weird way, can this kind of be what the doctor ordered to get hit in the face, get that edge back that you guys really thrived with last year?
First of all, since you're nitpicking on me, Tim, a little bit, I'm asking a question in a perfect world in this day and age, and
fair enough.
Right now is a little tough to take seriously. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know, Tim. I mean, listen, we've certainly been punched squarely in the nose, and we gotta stand up and either start playing better or not, and that's kind of where we are. And I think it's a really good question that you do ask, but I just really don't think it's one of those things we may not know the answer for a while.
Does that mean that you really don't have to? I mean, the room is filled with pros, guys that have won championships. I mean, you don't have to address it. You just sort of trust that the reaction tomorrow will be what you want it to be.
No, I address it.